Water in Jerusalem is one of the most problematic things until today. But if you will go to the time of King Herod, and even before that, the Maccabees, the Hashmonite, and even before it, at the first temple time, it was so difficult to have water. And water is not only for drinking, it's for purification as well. That place that we are visiting now at the beginning of September 2021 was one of the options for water, and the importance of the location importance is that if you go to the left, you will reach the Jewish temple, which is today Haram al-Sharif. It's let's say 200 meters from here. Then every drop of water was important. That used to be a valley, and here in the lowest place, they built some pools, mainly from rainwater. Then that pool was for drinking, was for the use of the temple, the Jewish temple, and to cure yourself as well. We know it as the sheep pool, but for the Christians, you know it better as Bethesda. That pool that you see here originally was built by King Herod, but that was true at the first and second century. You can see one of the pools is there, and there's a wall, and there's another pool there. And later on, when the Christians came to when the Romans came to after King Herod, they turned it into a healing procession area, and we will see it like that. We know that according to the Romans, when the water actually started to shake, the healing procession actually started, and the few first one who entered to the pool were cured by Asclepius. Oh, I'm afraid of it. The medicine god of the Romans. We believe that Romans built on top of traditions here. And I want you to understand that the time of King Herod, he lived in the Roman era. What you see all over, let me climb back again, that later on the Byzantines, the first Christians, built here a church dedicated to Mary, which was all the way from there, you can see some of the columns, until the end of, almost the end of the pools. It was huge. What you see here is only remains of a small chapel that was built here at the 12th century by the Crusader. In between, that church, the Byzantine church that was dedicated to Mary, been destroyed by the Muslims. If you go down there, you will see water systems. And should I go to that? Should I not? Should I do that? Let's do that. Though it's a little bit dark. And this is part of the Crusader church, 12th century. In winter time, when you're reaching that area, you will find some water in the, alright, dark. You can see something? Yes, you can see a little bit. Oh, it's even better with the camera. So sensitive, my dear camera, so sensitive. Wow, it's beautiful. It's so cool now. All right, you got the message. I'm not going down all the way, but it's one of the water systems that was used by the Crusader. Their church was above it. It's hot, my dears. It's hot again. Beautiful. Another entry to water system beneath the church. Beautiful, isn't it? That wall is a Byzantine wall. They divided the two pools. There is the other side, just behind that church. You could find the northern pool, and we are now heading to the southern pool. Sorry, to the northern. The other one was the south, of course. Let's climb up. I think you hear me snoring. It's because of my asthma problem, but I will survive. And because it's hot. I just came from that neighborhood, Babel Hutta. And later on, we will go back again to that neighborhood, but from here you can see beautifully the Crusader church. And remember, the Byzantine one was bigger than that. The Crusader built another church here, and you can see it in front of you, 12th century, and that is the story of Mary. Then here is Bethesda. Remember, I think it's chapter 5, book of John. Jesus came to here. He came to here because of a few reasons. The first one is that that was a purification area. Look at the pool. That was a purification area, and but a healing process as well. And he came to here on Shabbat, and he saw football, and he saw a lamb man who was there for 38 years, means lots of time. And that lame couldn't be the first one to enter the pools to be cured. Then in that case, Jesus asked him, why are you not entering? And he said, I cannot because no one helps me. And then he said, stand up and go. That's it. And that's what he did. The problem was that he told him to take his bed with him. This is not so good. This wasn't good because on Shabbat you can cure people, but you couldn't ask him to take his bed with. You could ask him to come on Sunday and to take his bed. That's why the Jews weren't so happy, because to cure people, that is more than okay, but to work on Shabbat, that wasn't okay. Then the Byzantine church was full over, and the small one that you see here is the Crusader one. Let's go through the garden. Then the Crusader in the 12th century divided the stories. One is about the lamb guy, Bethesda Pool, and the other one is about the birthplace of Mary. All right, remember, I'm entering to a problematic zone, because the Catholic Greek Orthodox will accept it. The rest don't know about that story. Now let me sit and talk about it here in the shade while we are looking at the church. Both of them are Crusader, that one, and the small one. According to the story, Anna and Joachim, the parents of Mary, were too old to bring children. They tried, they couldn't. And then an angel came to them and told them that they're going to have a child. 9 months later, exactly like the story of Jesus, and Hannah in Hebrew, had her first child. And the only child, Mary. Mary was important and pure. And because of it, from age of 3, she used to save the temple, which is, all right, can you see the tower there, the top of the tower? That is the site of the Temple Mount, the second temple. Then in that case, she served the temple for so many years until she got her first period, and then they had to find someone who will take care of her, and that was John. That was Joseph. The rest you know. Now, if you don't know that story, if you're not accepting it, it's okay. But that church was built for that, and Saladin, who conquered that city, 12th century, destroyed almost every part of the city, but not that church, because Muslims believe in Mary as well. Then, in that matter, that church was used as a madrasa, as a school for girls for so many years, and then later on, at the end of the 19th century, the Ottomans gave it to the French, and you can see the French flag there. And from right now, and this is one of the almost first and well-built Crusader church. I cannot talk in it. Then it's a Romanesque church, an early Crusader church. Beautiful, and the acoustic there is so amazing. In it, in the crypt, you can find the birthplace of Mary. There's always new rules that I don't know if I can take a video there. If not, I do have some videos of it anyhow, then you can use it. One day they allowed me to do that, the other day not. Beautiful, isn't it? Huh? Look how beautiful it is from here. You can see the remains of the apse of the Byzantine church. It was almost until the end of the pools, and on top of it, the small one here is the Crusader one. I want to show you one of the places that we believe that the Romans used as a healing processing area, with a beautiful mosaic, and then we will enter to the church itself. That place was closed for so many, for at least 1 year, because of COVID-19. And if we're talking about that I'm not working for more than 1.5 years, and you are my family now, you are my tourist. Then in that matter, if you want to, and that's actually started from you, and I'm accepting it because it actually helps me a lot. If you want to support me, then go to the link which is at the description. It's called Buy Me a Coffee, and by that you can support me, and you can ask me to light candles for you, or to put a note between the western wall stones, the western wall, the waiting wall. Oh, they cover it, but you can see how beautiful the mosaics floor were. They just cover it. Let me see if they kept a little bit for us. Not even a bit. That beneath that carpet is that mosaic floor that you saw. Then if that is your first video, please subscribe my channel and be my family. You can ask me whatever you want, and if you reach that point, write me. I want to know how the brave one will actually reach it. I will enter to the pool, to the church. It might be the next video, but I'm not sure that I will be allowed to talk there and to take a video. Then see you.